Hello everyone and welcome to my Fist Only No Vanquisher Seal Company of Champions boss run. And this is part 15, Velstadt, and I really like this boss. And you might say, well, what, Hado? Because that's my name now. Let's start by saying that I changed the name of my channel because I had Robotito999, and that's like when I was a kid, I wrote a little story that was named, but the protagonist was a robot in a line of robots that was just the, the last before the new line, the 1000 line. It was not a bad robot, but it was a self-conscious one. It was a bad story, but I liked the character, so I named the YouTube channel Robotito999. Winning is a little robot in Spanish, basically the word. But as I'm getting into the YouTube thing more and more, doing commentaries now, I decided to call myself Hado because that's how everyone calls me. Really, I have played MMORPGs and I have in every situation or game online, even my PSN has Hado in it, so everyone just calls me Hado. Like, they don't even call me by my name, which is Sebastian, or Sean, if you want to call me Sean, it's shorter. But they just say Hado. And remember, the H is silent. And it's silent. Why is silent, you say? Well, because it's another character of my invention. It was a dark elf in one of my novels that I wrote when I was younger. A really beloved character for me. And I will use Hado as the name because it fits and everyone calls me that, so now you guys can call me that too. So coming back to the video, here we have Velstadt, and I really like Velstadt. When I first fought him, I thought it was a fucking disaster like Smelter, because the attacks that it does when you have low agility, and then and again we come back to the problem with the agility stat. When you have 3 iframes, when you have like base agility, like 110 or even 90, you kinda can do what I'm doing, like almost receiving no damage from him and from his attacks. But you will see that some attacks that it does, it has a wide arc and some weird hitboxes. So Velstadt is kind of like a acquired taste. You might hate him or you might like him, but if you hate Velstadt, it's not there. You see, if you hate Velstadt, it's not really because Velstadt he's a difficult boss. It's because the fucking corridor of fucking death that you have to go through. I mean, before going to the boss, there is a full hallway corridor full of enemies that have shields that you have to kill one by one to enter the boss. And you say, well, you can do it 15 times and then the enemies disappear, because this is a thing. If you kill the enemies 15 times, 15 times, all of them disappears, and then you get the corridor free, and then you go up and fight Velstadt without problems. And many people does this because I invaded people in this area, of course, and they had no enemies in the corridor, so many people find Velstadt kinda difficult, and they choose to kill the enemies 15 times. I'm sorry, it's just my brain. And it shouldn't be necessary. Why there is a corridor of death? Why there is a shrine of a mana before the boss? I mean, and there are more corridor of death in the DLC. Every boss has a fucking corridor of death, unless Fume Knight maybe. And for crying out loud, look at Seer Alone in the DLC. If you never heard of it, you will not know who am I talking to. You can go to my Soul Level 1 run to check my fight against him. But Sid alone has a fucking corridor full of ninja guys. And I had to do it. I had to kill them 15 times because really it's just... It was impossible to run to the fog gate without getting killed, and it was impossible to really concentrate when you are entering a fog gate with half your health gone. It's just like, what level of thinking FromSoft acquired introducing these corridors? I mean, this is not difficulty for difficulty's sake. This is artificial difficulty. This is the worst difficulty in video games. This is the difficulty that we don't like, where they get like a bunch of enemies in a place that are hard to kill, and they say, go fight him every time. That's your penalty for dying against Velstadt. And that's fucking crazy. I mean, in Demon Souls and Dark Souls, we had to do almost an entire level again. And I say almost because Dark Souls was more lenient, but in Demon Souls we had to do an entire level almost to get to the boss. And when you kill the boss is when you uncover the next checkpoint. So you had to go through the level, enter the boss gate, and win against the boss to be able to checkpoint it. And did we complain about it? No, but why? Because the enemies were well placed, they weren't cramped, the game was fun and felt fast. You didn't feel like a fucking, like your character doesn't respond to you, or is sluggish, or is slow. I mean, it was fun to go through the level. And the enemies didn't disappear there, so really you just maybe you can kill 50 times now, and the real 50, and you have to do it 50 times, but you can rush it at the same time, and it's a well designed boss when you can rush it. But this boss fog, there's a way to rush this boss fog without killing any enemies, but it's so much a game of chance that you might as well just kill the enemies, because really, how the fuck are you going to survive the corridor? And if you don't see the corridor, you won't know what I'm talking about. So let's just stop ranting about that. As you can see, Velstadt is still hitting me with his white arcs. I fought him a couple of times, so I kinda know all his moves. And this is the powered version of Velstadt, because as you surely noticed when we started the fight, he didn't have this dark aura within him, and now he does. And the only thing that means is that he has higher defenses and higher attack power. He hits harder. So that attack that does slams his bell thing on the ground does the highest damage modifier. If he hits you with that, is like more than your half health gone. And you have to really be careful, because you see, if he does a combo, then you're almost dead. If he does a 3 hits, he has some combos that are 3 hits, and this is a range attack, and you have to run towards him to his back, and the orbs won't kill you. It's a dark attack, so maybe if you have a good dark defense you can survive it, but really in company of champions it's just better to go to his back. And when you go to his back and you hit him, he may do excuse me, that, you see, he does a swipe to get you out of his back. So always remember, I think I hit him twice, yeah, twice, and I see what he does, and I repeat. See, hit him twice, dodge, bait, and attack. That attack you can roll to the side and you will evade it completely again. That attack you have to maybe evade at that same time. That's a swipe again. So as you can see, Velstadt, when you get the moves right, is not really that difficult. But if you have low agility, again, this can be really frustrating. And his bell weapon does a lot of stamina damage. If you are using a shield and you're going to want to block his attack instead of evading, well, you will want to block one or two of his attacks. But don't just stand there blocking, because really he will guard break you, and when your guard break it, as I said before, you can receive counter damage. So if you receive counter damage in Company of Champions, or even in a normal game, you can get killed in one hit, maybe two. So yeah, I think I never use a shield really, now that I think about it. I think I never did a run with a shield. I might do a run. I was thinking now I'm going to do Dragon Age and Evil Within, but maybe in a couple of months before the release of Bloodborne, maybe in January, I could do a NG plus 7 with a level up character, because NG plus 7 is the farthest new game that you can go, where the bosses will still be very difficult and they probably will one-shot you if you are in the Covenant of Champions, but at the same time you have a character fully leveled up with a good weapon. So I might do an NG plus 7 at some point. And that was Velstadt, guys. A tough fight and a fairly long fight, but a fun fight nonetheless.